Familiar is the stone and brick courthouse, completed in 1871, on the site of the first courthouse built in 1808. Education denotes progress. Located in the center of the Indiana community is Indiana State Teachers College. Fisher Auditorium is typical of modern campus buildings. Scene of health and physical education activities at the college is Waller Gymnasium. The beautiful Oak Grove, center of the college, ranks with the loveliest park scenes of the state, while East Campus, with its lovely shrubs and trees, is the scene of many campus activities. Wilson Hall Library houses nearly 50,000 books. The Indiana Squirrel, a permanent resident at the college. This young lady is doing what many campus visitors do, attempting to make friends with the squirrel. He's working for a CS degree in education. Oldest and largest of the college buildings is John Sutton Hall, constructed in January 1875. The new Leonard Hall, now being constructed by the Pennsylvania General State Authority, will replace old Leonard Hall, which was completely destroyed by fire April 24, 1952. Religious life is important to the people of Indiana County. The area has many churches. On Sunday, the corner of 7th and Church Streets in Indiana is a busy scene. Here are people coming out of the First Methodist Church in Indiana on that corner. The Jewish Synagogue on South 5th Street in Indiana is the latest addition to the churches of Indiana County. It was constructed in 1952. On the beautiful hillside on the north end of Indiana is Our Lady of Fatima Shrine, an impressive outdoor setting. Further progress in facilities for religious education. The First Presbyterian Church of Indiana is constructing a new building to be used to educate its young people. Indianans are now concerned about industrial growth, and they're doing something about it. Under construction here is the Paragon plant of the Robert Shaw Fulton Controls Company, located south of Indiana off Route 119 in the direction of Homer City. A $475,000 project that means a payroll boost in Indiana County. A leading Indiana industry is the McCurry Tire and Rubber Company, located on the southwest end of the community. Founded in 1915, the firm now employs several hundred men. It takes only 3 minutes to produce a tire by the assembly system used in the McCurry up-to-date factory. Here a worker turns out an Indiana product internationally known. Indiana County has many other important manufacturing concerns. Syntoran, Indiana Sportswear, Federal Laboratories, Ford Incorporated, Beck Machine Company, Indiana Foundry, King Leathers, and others. The J.S. Mack Community Center, known as the Fairgrounds, has a vast recreational development plan underway. This is the main entrance to the center. Under construction is a new swimming pool, expected to be one of the finest outdoor pools of the district. It will be ready for use in the summer of 1954. Also under construction is a new parking lot for the Mack Center. The J.S. Mack Community Center is used for many purposes. During the Sesquicentennial observances were held here every day during the week. Auto racing, harness races, and other thrill events were popular attractions. Here during the Sesquicentennial week, crowds of people gathered round the racetrack to watch the midget auto races. most memorable event in Indiana County Sesquicentennial celebration was the Indiana-Rama, the pageant presented nightly at the Mack Center, placed in colorful scenes the history of Indiana County. Here, Harold Thomas, General Chairman of the Sesquicentennial, and Mrs. Flora Bell Wagaman of Blairsville, the Pennsylvania Mother of the Year, approached Pearl Mock of Plumville, queen of the Sesquicentennial event. They crowned her. Here they approached and crowned Queen Columbia Rose Bonariga. Queen Columbia Rose Bonariga and the Sesquicentennial Queen Pearl Mock. In charge of the pageant events during the Sesquicentennial was Mrs. Victoria Wattis, English speech teacher at the Indiana High School. This is the prologue of Indiana-Rama. The royal procession takes place, and each princess is announced as she reaches the front of the stage. Queen Columbia is introduced. And finally, Queen Pearl Mock, attended by her children, make her entrance. The Queen's carriage enters, and the Queen of the Indiana County Sesquicentennial is driven away. Indiana has a tradition in Indian folklore. The story of Indiana County had its beginning with the historic Red Men, where the Indian was here long before the white man came to the region. A typical Indian dance is underway. This one is being danced to the god of fun. The familiar covered wagon arrived in Indiana County. This scene depicts an Indian massacre. A pioneer dance. The fiddles come out at night and it's swing your gal, that pretty little gal. From the very beginning, churches have played a large part in the shaping of the lives of the people of Indiana County. This scene from the pageant showed services in one of the earliest churches in the county. This parson was expected to preach for more than an hour on the wages of sin, and he did it so very well. Hand in hand with the need for spiritual guidance came the need for education. This action represents the laying out of the first courthouse in Indiana, built in 1808. Transportation in early days was by horse and stagecoach. Railroads opened in 1853 to play a vital role in the economic advances of the county. Here we see an early dance, the beautiful Virginia Reel. But the grim reality of the Civil War cut short the pleasures of the time. The war was on, and the men of Indiana County answered the call. They parted with loved ones, leaving to serve in the distinction in the Army of the Potomac, in the battles of that army. Education developed. This scene symbolizes graduation at Indiana Normal School 78 years ago. Foreign culture? Yeah. From Gay Parade came the internationally famous Can-Can girls of the gay 90s. And take me out to the ball game, to the big game between the Indiana Magnetos and the Blairsville squad. This fellow has plenty of supporters, along with that bushel basket. Dancing is typical of many eras. Here members of the pageant perform in a pre-World War I dance festival. Then came the movies, the Flicker Entertainment. This is the latest triumph of Huda Barra and Rudolph Valentino, a touching movie called Wings Over Wings. Tragedy is inevitable. He dies. He dies. Everyone must die. And the hearse enters for the final scene, a real tearjerker. The roaring 1920s, and everybody was doing the Black Bottom or the Charleston. These young people in the pageant are performing the dance craze of the 20s, as done by their parents. Today, Indiana County has many beautiful farms among its hill lands, and farmers take pride in the appearance of their homes and lands, barns, and fields. Here is a typical farm scene east of Blairsville at the Route 119 cutoff. Another section of beautiful farm country. There are many cows in Indiana County, and dairying is an important factor in county agriculture. Here's a close-up of a prize animal. How now, brown cow? Moo! With the development of new farm machinery, Indiana County farmers were the first to make use of such equipment. Here is a farmer drilling and preparing the land for planting. These machines, drawn by horses, represent old-type machinery. Newer machines are drawn by tractors and harvesting. Imagine the amazement of early pioneers if they could return to watch this farming age. This machine cuts and thrashes as it goes along. One of the most modern machines, a hay baler at work. Notice the name McCormick. The McCormicks of farm machinery fame are said to have originated in Armath. This is less work than loading it on a wagon, as they did in the good old days. But it's probably pretty hot on this tractor combination here. As a tribute to the agricultural industry, the Sesquicentennial Committee sponsored an agricultural parade featuring all agricultural organizations of Indiana County. Here floats depicting activities of agricultural groups turn the corner at 9th Street to pass before thousands along Indiana's main street. Represented there were the future farmers of America. Old Bossy represents dairy, turning the corner. Another dairy representative. homemaking. That's the Katanning all-girl band, rounding the corner. The 4-H Club of Homer City. The 4-Hers from Edgewood. A group from Armath. Learn by doing. The Indiana County 4-H Club. And the Katanning Band, Katanning Boys Band with Lady Majorette. A Boy Scout and his bugle bring scouts to Camp Street Mass during the summer. In addition to the agricultural youth group, other phases for the development of youth are amply provided for in Indiana County. Here is a group at Camp Street Mass. Life saving is an important phase of a scout's training. These boys are participating in life saving, dealing with artificial respiration by the new method. This method is a little different from the one used a number of years ago. All ready for the water. Canoeing has always been popular on Yellow Creek near Camp Street, Mass. Several rowboats are slipped in here. This section of Yellow Creek is known as Deadwater because of the stillness of the water. These youngsters jumping in now are taking their Boy Scout swimming test. Notice their leaders going along the boat as an extra safety precaution. This activity will mean merit badges for the Scouts' work here. They're working with their leader in map reading and compass work. You forgot your map, boys. Experiences in hundreds of activities such as these make scouting a vital part of youth training. Here is another scouting activity, Cupid Pastime, the fascination of archery. These boys are learning to hit the target in one of the most interesting of the scouting activities. Indiana County has an extensive organization of Boy and Girl Scouts, with the volunteer work of adults making the program an elaborate one. These girls are at Catawba Trace, off Route 22, south of Rustic Lodge in White Township. Together with their leaders, they are studying nature. It is a beautiful location to study nature outdoors. Artwork outdoors is an attraction for these Girl Scouts. And a beautiful way to spend a summer day. And another group participates in reading. They're all tied up in their work. They're mixing up some mulligan stew. A la Catawba Trace mulligan stew, that is. Should the fire get out of hand, the girls could call on the 50 or more fire companies that participated in the impressive Firemen's Parade Monday evening during Sesquicentennial week. Thousands of people lined the streets on that Monday evening to watch the fire equipment and the precision marching units. That's precision marching. That's the old Conemaugh equipment. It dates back to another century. The Blairsville Veterans of Foreign Wars band passes by. Spectators saw hundreds of pieces of firefighting equipment, much of it the latest. That's the new truck from Homer City. Perhaps the most important single industry in Indiana County during the 20th century, at least the one employing the greatest number of men and providing the most income, is coal mining. Approximately 7,000 persons are on the mine's payroll today in the county. The growth of the industry has been phenomenal, from a few companies at the turn of the century to about 300 now. A trip of empty cars is going into Luzerne Mine. A quick trip. For here come back the loaded cars. Federal Bureau of Mines reveals that coal deposits in Indiana County total about 2 billion tons, of which about 49% is recoverable. About 1 billion tons recoverable. This is the cleaning plant at Luzerne Mine. The plant is one of the largest in the area. Notice that there is no smoke while the plant is in operation. Solving the problem of the smoke, which has annoyed people of the area, has been possible through the cooperation of the Rochester and Pittsburgh Coal Company and the district residents. The smokestack at the Luzerne Power Plant. The stack appears to be moving. Actually, the photographer has the camera in his hand and he is not resting on anything. All the power for Rochester and Pittsburgh Company operations in this area is generated from this plant. Here is the powerhouse, one of the largest in the area. This is the water spray at the Luzerne plant. Clean coal, first discovered in Indiana County along the Sesquicentennial River below Salzburg, has brought prosperity to the area. Also important to the commercial development of the county has been the coke industry. These new coke ovens were established at Luzerne in the last year. These coke ovens are beautiful to watch, day or night. Coke lifting machine. With this machine, it is possible to clean out one coke oven every 3 minutes. This is a much faster process than the old hand shovel method. Several strokes of that long arm and all the coke is out of the oven. concealing the charge of coal in the coke oven. After the coal was burned, the steel was removed. The coke cooled, and then the coke is spooled or raked from the oven and loaded into the cars. In the background is the tipple from which the coke is loaded into railroad flats to be taken off to a market, somewhere in industrial USA. Other parades highlighted the Sesquicentennial celebration. This is the Thursday Children's Parade. A young boy and girl display the model house of 1953. And here is a very young majorette. The climax of the Sesquicentennial week came on Saturday, the 4th of July, with a mammoth 2-hour parade, the largest ever held in the community of Indiana. Organization of the parade was the responsibility of co-chairmen Dana Hoover and Paul Risseberger. Throngs estimated at 40,000 crowded into Indiana to watch the parade. Bands, drill units, novelties, and floats made the parade an impressive one. Precision marching units work. Many floats, such as this R&P one, were prepared by professionals for the occasion. The Lions Club. The lion tamers are in this vehicle. And the Kiwanians. 2 on a bike. And of course the parade isn't a parade without a band. And the Sesquicentennial event had many musical units. One was this high school band from Phillipsburg. The Boy Scouts who were California Jamboree bound are riding in this car, Boy Scouts. And Louis McGill on his bicycle built for one, a good laugh getter. Brothers of the Brush kept the attention of the people on the coming Sesquicentennial event for weeks before the main week. Spectators enjoyed the variety and originality of floats. The Indiana County Historical Society. Their entry is shown here. This helped inspire many features of the celebration. First prize for a professional float went to the Indiana Chamber of Commerce, a strong backer of the Sesquicentennial. Missouri's Duck, a familiar feature in many Indiana parades. The kids were on hand to enjoy the big parade all along the route. That's the offering of the Indiana Garden Club. Beautiful flowers and beautiful girls. And the Brody float. Also represented was an Indiana Hospital Alumni Unit float. And the Indiana Art Association. Old-time telephone communication is shown in the Bell telephone post. The 4th of July parade must certainly include the Daughters of the American Revolution, the DAR. Our Lady of Fatima, sponsored by the Catholic Daughters of America. The Butler Catholic Daughters of America were represented by an excellent marching band. Turning the corner. One of the smartest appearing units was the Burn Ackland Post of the Verona American Legion. This outfit drew applause all along the route. Little leaguers, there may be a big league star among these boys. And the band majorettes who helped spark the parade. Some old-time cars with passengers dressed in appropriate attire drew more attention than modern-day vehicles. Get out and push. Here's the way to travel. A little stubborn. Now he's going. These early Baltimore and Ohio Railroad cars hardly compare with the streamliners of today. Indiana majorettes, appropriate for the centennial, led the Indiana High School Band. The Armagh High School Band makes an appearance, and right behind it is a float containing a replica of the old iron furnace near Armagh. The replica. More pioneer families recalling the past. These are prepared for work. And beautiful horses. The covered wagons, this time going south. Two on a bicycle. The man and his mule. Note the man leaning down for a drink of water. lumbering. Farmers today would hardly appreciate that old plow. Two more interesting floats. Future farmers, learn by doing, and the Business and Professional Women's Group. Paper, paper. The Gazette newsboy takes advantage of the crowd to sell copies of the 144-page Sesquicentennial edition. Interested spectators here include Linda Sipos, daughter of photographer Frank Sipos. That little lad's enjoying it all, too. Sportsmen's Club of America, bring the parade to a close. Best beards. These are the winners for the outstanding beards in the various categories in the Sesquicentennial competition. Beards that will probably never be seen again in Indiana County. Take a look at that Gabby Hayes, would you? At the Old Timers baseball game, Cy Young, all-time great, obliges with an autograph. And Bill Ingersoll, Executive Secretary of the Indiana Chamber of Commerce, relaxes with Elmer Daly. Now for a brief tour around the county to some spots of interest. The first is the Homer City Swimming Pool, where next year citizens will celebrate the 100th anniversary of the town. The swimming pool in Homer City is one of the big attractions, and little wonder, for the water appears to be most inviting. The pool is located at the Homer City Memorial Field. The Bethel Presbyterian Church, built in 1886 near Kent, is typical of the early churches of the area. The congregation was established in 1788. The original building was a log cabin. A view through the trees atop 50 bluffs reveals the town of Salzburg below. The mighty Conemaugh Dam, located 7 miles from Salzburg on Conemaugh River, built for flood protection. This $9 million wall of concrete stands 170 feet high and is capable of creating a 21-mile-long reservoir that will inundate at high points an area of 10 7/10 square miles. The dam's 13 sluices, tunnels through the lower sections of the dam, will regulate the pool stage. When flood conditions threaten, the sluices will close. And if water rises to the 100-foot mark, crest gates, 14 of them will close to allow the water to rise another 40 feet. The familiar corner at the entrance into Blacklick is repaired. The road had to be raised because of the flood control project. A section of relocated Pennsylvania Railroad. The relocation was caused by the building of the Conemaugh Dam. Approximately 21 miles of track have been relocated at a cost of $18 million. You're viewing now the new high-raised bridge on Route 22 just west of Blairsville. The massive steel that went into this structure makes it one of the most imposing bridges in western Pennsylvania. Really complex steel structure. Many changes in Route 22 have resulted because of the Conemaugh Dam. About 11 miles of highway has been shifted, and the town of Blairsville will no longer have a main highway passing through it. Completion of the bridge will allow traffic to move on a new section of Route 22, thus bypassing Blairsville. Intricate structure and beautiful design mark this street. Soon to carry much less traffic is this main street in Blairsville. Long familiar as a point on the nationally known William Penn Highway, the town must now be content with alternate Route 22, with cloverleaf to the new Route 22 that passes nearby. The Blairsville swimming pool was in the construction stages when this was filmed. Since then, the pool has been dedicated and opened. A rough highway? No. This picture was taken along the new highway on Route 22, while the photographer was riding on the back of a truck, traveling at a speed too fast to divulge. This approach coming up is a familiar one. That blinking light tells you that you're coming toward Dead Man's Corner in Armath. Stop! Stop! One of the most attractive homes in Indiana, the Harry Bennett House at 6th and School Street. Another familiar church in Indiana County is this Curry Run Church located near Shalakta. Construction for bridges and roads is never ending in Indiana County. Here a shovel moves dirt to make way for new bridge construction. The town of Smicksburg is famous for the 16-room stone house located on the John McCormick farm. McCormick gained fame for his invention of a water turbine and was known locally as a music teacher. Some of the most beautiful scenery in Indiana County may be found in the Smicksburg area. Lover's Lane. Streams such as this add a picturesqueness found only in remote rural areas. And few scenes are as clean as the view of an old covered bridge. There are only 5 of these remaining in Indiana County, we are told. Makes you want to paddle your feet in the water. Right at that spot would be a good place. Pine trees in Indiana County make the area the Christmas tree capital of the world. These millions of seedlings will get careful attention in these nurseries. Hundreds of small coal mines can be found in Indiana County, many similar to this one. A number have been abandoned, but were in operation as recently as World War II. Indiana County miners have become increasingly safety conscious. Here, a group is participating in a first aid meet at Mass Community Center in Indiana in May 1953. Easy does it, boys. The meet is an annual event for first aid teams of the Indiana County mine. Another covered bridge, very beautiful. Through the structure of the old bridge can be seen sulfur-colored water. Characteristic of much of the water in this region, and a symbol, too, of coal mining. The Cherry Tree Monument. It was to this place that William Penn and his co-workers were said to have come on the west branch of the Sesquicentennial River. This monument was erected in 1894 as a memorial to the famous Penn expedition. It is believed that the members of the Penn group tied their canoes at this very spot where the monument stands. On this point where the monument stands are the point at which three counties meet. They are Indiana, Deerfield, and Canberra. On Route 80 near Indiana, a scenic view of farms located in the vicinity of the Indiana Municipal Airport. The new Climber Road takes the motorist up over the hill to Climber and offers a beautiful sky scene as a backdrop for a modern American highway. Here are some of the most beautiful and impressive scenery that may be found anywhere in the USA, right here in Indiana County. This is Climber Borough, a town that mushroomed at the beginning of the 20th century as a coal town. One of the present industries in the community is the brickyard, owned by the Hiram Plank Company. Cameron turns to a side road off Route 422 east of Indiana near Penn Run to capture a scene of breathtaking beauty that rivals any place in America. Thousands of Indiana people this past summer look back on 150 years of progress, of improvement, of a good life, and at the same time look forward with haste and determination to the future as an integral part of a greater America. This, in its 150th year, is Indiana County, USA.